Hi everyone, welcome to week 6 of your Medical Language 2 course. This week we are going to be covering the chapter on ophthalmology. Ophthalmology is the study of the eye and the diseases of the eye. So what we're going to be looking at is everything having to do with vision and the structures of the eye, as well as those diseases that affect them, some of the different diagnostic, medical, and surgical procedures, and of course some of the drugs and words that go along with this particular topic. So the eyes is part of a body system. So we have two of them, obviously. The actual eye itself is within the head, the cranium. And so the orbit is not necessarily part of the eye, but it does surround the eye. So keep that in mind as you go through this. So they actually holds the eye, and it contains a layer of fat that's basically like a cushion. And of course, the purpose of the eye is to provide the sense of sight. So we're going to look at some of the specific glands within the eye. So you can see we have some different glands that are going to provide different things to our eye as far as moisture especially. We've of course got eyelashes that help perform a barrier to prevent substances from getting in our eyes. And then these tear ducts will help to wash things out if we do get something in our eye. Excuse me. And so you'll want to make sure that you are looking at those structures as well as the structures that are for sight itself. So those are the things like the pupil and the iris and things like that. And then of course that's all connected to the optic nerve, which is another part of what we have to be able to see. So make sure that you're reviewing that anatomy. Make sure you understand how all of those things work together to allow sight. And then we're going to look at how does sight happen. So what exactly happens with those rays of light when they come into the eye, how they're processed, what other parts of body systems have to be working properly for vision to occur. And then, of course, we're going to look at what happens when it doesn't occur, right? So what are some of the problems that can happen? Because, of course, if you don't have vision, you're blind. But there are a lot of other diseases and things that come along with problems with the eye. So we might have different things that are affecting the eyelid. These are just some of those. The tear ducts, the conjunctiva, which is conjunctivitis. If you've ever heard of pink eye, that's what we're talking about there. So those are some of the things that you're going to be looking at. You're also going to be looking at things like vision, right? Some of us have nearsightedness, farsightedness, that type of thing. So we're going to look at how do we diagnose those? How do we address those when we do have them? And then what kind of surgical procedures or medical procedures can we do to address those? So, maybe we're talking about something like LASIK. That is one that is considered optional for some folks, whereas other surgical procedures are not. And then what kind of drugs can we take to address some of these diseases? So we might be looking at just antibiotics, antivirals, things for the pink eye, for example. Or maybe we're dealing with drugs that are for glaucoma, things like that. So make sure that you review all of those this week, and please contact me if you have any questions. Have a great week.